He's sharing his best kept secrets on how you can redefine success your way and a blueprint for confidence, clarity, and direction when you feel lost. We are the insurance agents. I'm excited to be here. You're going to work with your clients. You're going to serve your clients. You have to be in a high energy level. We're going to talk about 3 pillars. 1 is developing a strong vision. 2 is creating habits to get there. And then 3 is creating accountability to stick to those goals to make them a reality. Because in 2019, I ran the Lake Tahoe Marathon. And we are live. Awesome. Super excited, guys. Good afternoon, good evening, good 5:30 Eastern time. Hope everyone's having a great day. Super excited. Got a special guest today, Mr. Jordan Edwards. So let's find this here. So if you're just tuning in, let us know where you're from, where you're tuning in from. How's your day going? How's your month going? Let's see here. Looking for the post to tag it. All right, here we go. All right, so we're gonna pin this up here.
Oh, awesome.
All right, cool. Jordan, how's everything going today?
I'm doing great, David. I'm excited to be here.
Awesome. We're excited to have you. And let's see here. All right, now you're pinned. All right, let's see. All right, guys. So if you're just getting on here, let us know where you're from. Got a special guest today, Mr. Jordan Edwards from Tampa, right? You're in Tampa?
Tampa, Florida.
Tampa, Florida. That's funny. I was talking to one of my agents today, and I was like, yeah, I got an interesting guest today on the live. So if you catch it or at least watch the recording. But I was like, no, I think about it because she was just telling me she's going to be moving to Tampa or the Tampa area.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I thought that was really what a crazy coincidence.
That's awesome.
Awesome. So let's see here. All right. So we got here, John Press says hello from Haines City, Florida. We got Marion from Puerto Rico. All right. If you're just getting on now, guys, let me know where you're from. We got special guests. He's in Tampa, Mr. Jordan Edwards. Wait till a couple more people get on, then we'll do the proper introduction. But did a podcast with him a few weeks ago. Super impressed by him. Smart guy. Asks great questions. Has a very successful podcast. So if you're getting on here, let us know where you're calling in from.
I appreciate that.
How's the weather, man? Is it cold or hot where you're at? Let us know. Cold or hot? Brian from Nashville jumping on now. Let's see here. We got Dana from Miami. We got Jamie from Fort Pierce. Jennifer from Louisiana. She said Louisiana in the house.
We're covering.
Have you been to these places, Jordan?
I've been to quite a few. I'm actually going to Miami in a couple weeks. We got Texas in here from Candace. I've been to Dallas.
There you go.
Yeah, we got Brian. This is exciting. This is awesome.
This is it. We got 19 people on so far. We'll get some more people here. So we'll start get the introduction here. So
absolutely.
Jordan Edwards, founder of Edwards Consulting and top 1% podcast host of Clocked In. Am I saying that right? Clocked In?
Yeah. So it's hashtag Clocked In because basically during COVID, what ended up happening was everyone was staying inside, and I'm like, we have to work. Everyone's got to be clocking in. So that's where it came from.
I like it. Clocked In. Hashtag Clocked In.
Mike's outside of Tampa.
That's it, man. We got some Tampa here. We got West Palm, Florida. We have a bunch of Florida people here, right? Clocked In is in the house later today. He's sharing his best kept secrets on how you can redefine success your way, not what society feeds you. I love that. The exact mindset shift that changed everything for his clients, and a blueprint for confidence, clarity, and direction when you feel lost. Have you ever felt lost? Put lost in the chat, guys. If you ever felt lost, because this is the guy that will help you get unlost. So I'm excited about that. So if you ever felt lost, throw it in the chat. Be honest, be vulnerable. You can't fix any problems if you're not vulnerable. We got Tim. There's more people here than live in all of Idaho. Tim is in Idaho. Have you been to Idaho, Jordan?
I have not.
It's it. They got people there still in Idaho. John's in Ohio. That's it. So we got some lost people. John's lost. Dana's lost. Anyone else out there lost?
I appreciate the vulnerability. We're all lost.
That's it, man. We got a good team over here. Liz, Ebony have felt lost before. In case you don't know yet, he's already interviewed global icons like Reebok's founder Jeff Holman, traveled to over 27 countries, and ran multiple marathons, all while building a coaching business that has changed countless lives. So yeah, he's definitely walking the walk. If you feel like you where you're made more, but if you feel like you were made for more but don't know how to get there, this is the best place to be right now in this Facebook group. Jordan's going to go over everything. So we got Jamie's lost, John's lost, Marion's been lost, and see people get lost a lot. Marion's been dealing with lost people a lot lately, so
Absolutely.
she's seeing what that's like. And then Kansas also has felt lost. So Jordan, man, again, super excited to have you guys. Guys, please take advantage of this. I mean, Jordan. I mean, the Reebok founder Jeff Hoffman. So this guy's what got to be a billionaire, right? I mean, Jordan's rubbing shoulders with billionaires. You know, founder of Reebok. Everyone heard of Reebok, right? Shoe company, obviously super successful. So take advantage of this. Ask questions. We're going to try to answer every question. Jordan's really excited. And if you are very interactive, Jordan may even give you an opportunity to do a free 30-minute coaching consulting afterwards. We're going to post a link for that. So I'm super excited about that. Jennifer's lost, found, and lost again. Look at that. She's
The
going through all the
honesty. You
cycles.
can't beat the honesty.
That's it. So we got an honest crew. So Jordan, man, let's get rocking, brother.
Yeah. So first of all, David, thank you so much for having me on. We are the insurance agents. I'm excited to be here. Why are you guys here tonight? You know what I mean? We're here because we want to get better. And the first way to get better is we have to get into a top peak state. So the way we do that, the way I do this is by doing, I'm not going to do it on screen, but it's basically 10 push-ups, and then I hit my chest and I look up. Everyone's got their own peak state move. It might be jumping jacks, it might be moving around, but I want us to realize, one, that we see athletes, they get ready, they get excited for things. We need to get excited too. We need to build up that excitement, because if you're going to go after it and get with your clients, you're going to work with your clients, you're going to serve your clients, you have to be in a high energy level. And a lot of the times we struggle with that because we might hear rejection. We might hear, no, no, not now, not the right time. But we can't let that affect us. And so in this quick talk, we're going to talk about three pillars. One is developing a strong vision. Two is creating habits to get there. And then three is creating accountability to stick to those goals to make them a reality. So throughout this, I'm going to tell you guys a few stories about me and my experience, and hopefully they can relate to you in some sort of way. So pretty much what ended up happening was, whenever we go through a time and a moment where we want to make a decision and we want to change our life, we have to sit there, and I call this the zoom out. A lot of the time we're zoomed in and we're in on the work. That's what we do on our day-to-day basis. The zoom out is when we sit there and we go, what do I need to adjust in my life to get a different result that I'm looking for? The first part I would ask us is, what exactly is that result we're really looking for? You know what I mean? We, with Edwards Consulting, we help people become the best version of themselves. And today we have insurance agents, and we're going to teach you guys how to earn more, serve more, and live with greater intention. Now, the first part to do this is to realize what holds most insurance agents back. You know what I mean? First, it's placing their energy in the wrong places. And that's by chasing quotas, lack of personal direction, focusing on sales and not impact. So we're going to flip that switch. So we're going to dive into pillar one, which is, who are you becoming? I'm going to ask you guys a few questions. And while you're doing that, I'm going to explain a story to you guys. So where do you want to be in 3 years? Here are a couple of the questions. You got to figure out who you're becoming. So to create a new version of yourself, you have to know where you're going. So the first question is, where do you want to be in 3 years? What does your lifestyle feel like? And you're going to get clarity from this. The more clarity you have, the more power you're going to have. So for me, this all started because in 2019, I ran the Lake Tahoe Marathon. I set the objective for myself in 2018, where I said at the beginning of the year, I'm going to run a marathon. I've never ran a marathon before, and I just made the decision. Now, many times in our life, we make decisions. what changes things. It's when we have a plan from mentors who have shown us how to get there. So you have to find a mentor. Whether they know you or don't know you, you need guidance from somewhere. So what I did originally for the Lake Tahoe Marathon was I looked online and I found a program on how to run a marathon. I didn't know how to run a marathon. I just thought to myself, let me find this program and we'll start with that. And that's what I ended up doing because I had for my 1 year vision for myself that I was going to run this marathon. So I needed first to make the decision and then make the plan. So in the comments, guys, what are some of the visions that you guys are looking to do in the next 3 years? What do you guys want to accomplish? And so for me, I set the plan and I started working towards it. I was running 3 miles, then I was running 5 miles, then I was running 4 miles, and I was doing all these different, I was running 3 times a week. And I started to get to the point where I'm running 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 miles. And I thought to myself, wow, this is incredible. Because the thing about running is that it compounds so quick. So you can develop it very, very fast. The same is true with your business. The more structured you get and the more concrete you get with your vision and where you're going to go and taking actions and following through on that, the closer you can get in your business to accomplishing the goals you want to accomplish. Yes. So we're going to keep writing. Who do you guys want? What are these visions you're looking to accomplish? What are these goals? Without these, we don't know where we're going. So what ends up happening is I set the marathon vision and I start working towards the goal. The next big step that occurred for me was actually purchasing the marathon. I had to decide what day I'm going to run. And at first, I had 3 different options, and I decided on Lake Tahoe because I thought Lake Tahoe would be so cool. I go, if I'm living my dream life, I'm going to Lake Tahoe and I'm running this marathon. And that's what I did because without intention, we can never create the life we want. So, just as we all have amazing experiences, we have to trust and dive in. We have to be able to believe that it is possible. So, what ended up happening was I booked the Lake Tahoe Marathon. Now, the funny thing is that you guys might realize this that in Tampa, the elevation is zero. Basically, we're on the water. Lake Tahoe is 6,000 feet elevation. So could you imagine me at 5:30 in the morning running with like a Bane mask? Have you ever seen the movie? I'm running with the mask because I needed to cut off my oxygen. And I only ran that early in the morning because I was scared of what people would think of me. So I started a new habit of waking up early, running before anyone else came out. It's also very hot in Tampa, so that's another factor as well. But what I did was I did it early and I did it often and I did it frequently. So the next part is really deciding what you're going to do and holding yourself accountable to these steps. So who here has written some of their actions? Who written down their dream life? My goal is to become an expert at my craft. I love that. 5,000 writing agents in the next 3 years. Love that. We got some fire emojis. Is there anybody that's writing the actions like David? David wrote actions, which is incredible because we're all learners. And some of the steps we can do for this is how much do you want your business to earn? How many hours do you want to be working? Where do you want to live? Where do you want to travel? How much money do you want to make? What's your biggest accomplishment? So as you write these down, they become real. The more work you put in now, we're in the zoom out phase. This whole call is going to be zoom out. So don't try to multitask. This whole call is going to be zoom out because we're focusing on you. When I asked David about this, I go, I want to give them actionable steps so they have brilliant takeaways today. That means you can also do a call later so we can do more, but let's get the action steps today. So in 3 years, how much do you want your business to earn? How many hours do you want to be working? Where are you living? Where are you traveling? What's your biggest accomplishment? Write it down. Let's make it real. Let's make this a real thing. So as we're going through this, you start to realize that waking up early is not always fun. I had to adjust my schedule completely, which brings us to pillar number 2, which is routine and mentality. So, as we talked about it, pillar 1 is developing a strong vision. Pillar 2 is creating the habits to get there. Now, I'm using the marathon as an example, but this is the same that's true for your businesses. I'm just explaining it in a different way so you guys can understand it. So, pillar two is going to be routine and mentality. So, we know our habits equal our results. So, are you showing up daily like a top performer? So, one of the things I think about is when I was training for this marathon, and what I think about each day is if I was the hero of my own journey, would I be doing this activity right now? I'd say yes. You know what I mean? And there's moments in our life where we say that, where we sit there and say no. And that's where the changes occur. So for me, having to run all these distances, it's not easy to run 18 miles. It's not easy to run 20 miles. It's not easy to run 26.2. So to build up this conditioning, I had to start waking up earlier, which what does that mean? I got to go to bed earlier. And I was literally on a podcast today, and the guy who was interviewing me said, what is one tip you'd recommend to anyone? I'd say go to bed at the same time. If you go to bed at the same time each day, you will avoid all bad things. You know what I mean? All these things that are pulling from your goals, pulling you away. So you start to realize here that you need to have a bigger goal and a bigger why that changes your outlook and changes your activity. So what ended up happening to me was I would start running, and usually on the long run, it would be a Saturday morning. What does that mean? That means Friday night, I would literally carb up because when you're running 20 miles, you got to eat some carbs. I'd go to bed at like 9:30, and I just wake up at like 4 a.m. and I'm running these streets, and I would literally see people out from the night before, and I would see people still an older version of myself. You get what I'm saying? So we all are shedding our skins at all times. We're all stepping into these new versions of ourselves. So when you guys are sitting here in this community, in this group, identifying as an insurance person, you need to step into that and you need to own that and you need to let people know about it. Because if you're not letting people know about your mission, then you're not going to be held accountable. But like we talked about, it becomes these habits. So comment below, what are some of the top habits what are some of the daily habits that top performers have? What do you think it is? Is it that they follow up? Is it that they follow through what they say they're going to do? Is it that they're consistently sharing small wins? What is this? Because when you start to realize is that a lot of these habits are built on each other. So we win the morning, we win the day. So that's what I would end up doing. And that's how I got trained for the marathon. And the biggest thing for you guys realizing when you're constantly going through these adversities, like you think I wanted to run 20 miles on a Saturday morning when all my friends are going out? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And then you try to juggle it for a little bit where it's like, okay, I'll go to the birthday party, but I'm not drinking, I'm not really eating, and I'm gonna go home at 9. Like you try, but you're stepping into a different zone. So if you're clearing out your friends too, that's part of the process. You're gonna find new people. You know what I did? I found some running friends because they run. It makes sense. So your guys as this insurance space, and that's why it's amazing what David's created, because now you've created insurance friends. Not saying you always need people in the same space, but it's good to have people that are on a similar mission as you. So you want to get around those top performers. You want to get around those winners. You want to get around those people who are doing bigger things. So now we have our routine. So I end up flying out. So I did all of this prep work. I fly to Lake Tahoe, 6,000 feet elevation. It's cold as can be. It's October. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm about to do this marathon. This is the most insane thing ever. Because the thing I didn't realize, and when you see a lot of marathons, you realize there's water stations at every mile because they have 50,000 people like the New York City Marathon. Lake Tahoe is like 1,000 people run it. There is minimal water stations. There are not many people there. There's some support staff, but you are just dogging it. So I end up getting there. I feel ill prepared, and I just end up buying all these clothes because I needed some stuff. And you start to realize that you fall back to your version of yourself. You fall back to who you know to be. So the point is that when we work hard and we stay consistent, like I was even talking about David in the pre-call, and he's like, Jordan, I went on this trip. I was eating a little bit differently. Obviously, we went on a trip. However, David was aware of it because he's like, I have the habit. I know who I am. So you start to realize that these habits always pop up because you identify as the individual you are. You identify as the individual of the habits you carry. You know what I mean? Everyone, note, when you finish a marathon, everyone supports you. No one supports you at the 5 a.m. run. No one cheers you on. So I'm there and I'm getting all these clothes. I'm literally me there. My parents flew out, which was very kind of them and a fun activity, but I'm running this by myself. And I start running and I'm like, can I do this? And you're going through all these questions like, am I able to do this? Will I finish? Is this possible? And you guys are going through this each and every day as you feel rejection after rejection after rejection. But you have to realize that every no, you are closer to a yes. Every time you feel rejection, you get closer. So every mile I completed, I was getting closer. And there, it was funny. In the beginning, everyone starts off hot, right? I'm running, and I vividly remember this kid was like 18 years old. And he goes, yeah, I run marathons all the time. I go, how fast do you run them? And he's like, 3 hours. I go, what? And I'm running with this guy. I'm like, oh, I'm doing great. I'm doing great. I had to slow down because I'm like, this kid's crazy. This kid's not. You have to realize that we are all on our own path and we're on our own journey. So if someone, the reason I'm saying this 18-year-old running a 3 hours is because there's probably insurance agents you work with who do a ton of business. There's some who do no business, but you are on your own path. And it's not about the money, it's about the journey you are on and reaching that destination and putting in the deposits, the positive reinforcements each and every day. That's why I love that. I was checking out the Facebook group. It's so active with positive wins. You know what I mean? It's people sharing there. I did this deal. I just did this deal. I did this deal. It's because as we keep sharing these small wins, we foster a real community and we continue to grow. So you want to start stacking these wins. So what are some of these habits that you think you can implement into your life? What are some of these things that you might be able to change? Like I just told you, I had to give up a lot. And we don't realize that on that journey you're always giving up. So what are you guys, comment below, what are you willing to give up for your goals? And what are these new habits that you want to pick up? Because for me, it's much easier to give up one habit and substitute it with another. It is not easy at all to just go, I am never eating chocolate again, and I'm just never going to eat chocolate again. What do you do during that time? Instead of the no chocolate late at dessert time, maybe you go on a walk. You can substitute habits. So you start to realize you have to substitute habits. So really sit there and think, what habits do I have that aren't serving me? And the way I define that, and the way I like to think about that in a very simple capacity, is there anything we are doing on a regular basis that causes us to think about something other than our goal? You know what I mean? And that can be, some people have a nicotine, some people have a women, some people have a men, some people have all of the alcohol, drugs. Everyone's got everything. But you have to realize, what are the habits that serve you? Is the one that serves you going on a walk in the morning, getting fresh air? Probably. Is the one that serves you the best being in bed in time? Probably. Like, so that's why I always try to sit there and think, what is the easiest habit to do? And the easiest habit to pick up is being in your bed at 10. Like, you might want to work, you might want to do more stuff, and that's cool. You can totally do that, but get a normal bedtime routine because sleep is everything. And you start to realize that. So as we kind of step into this next area, I'm still running this marathon. I'm going, I'm giving it my all. It's cold, I'm freezing, but I'm doing it. You know what I mean? And in the moment, you can't conceptually think I'm going to do this. So what I actually did, which helped me a lot, was I thought to myself, wow, there are people that run 100-mile race. I'm running 100-mile race. In reality, a marathon is 26.2 miles. But I realized I set the goalpost so far away. You know, you guys heard the thing where if you shoot for the moon, you land on the stars? That's what I was doing with my own mental aptitude. So if you guys set goals for yourself of, hey, I'm going to call 100 leads today. Maybe you only call 80. You're not a failure. A failure wouldn't have picked up the phone. So you know what I mean? You got to get yourself an object in motion stays in motion. So as you start moving forward and getting closer to your goals, you are moving in the right direction. So as I'm going through this, but conceptually, you can't think, I can't call 100 people at once. That's crazy. But you do one at a time, one step at a time. And that's what I was doing with this marathon. And I'm going up these hills and I'm going one step at a time. And I'm tired and I'm defeated. But I fall back to the fact that I've trained. I fall back to the point that I've put in the time and the effort. I've done what it takes. I've sat there and thought to myself, what does a marathon person do? What does a runner look like? How do they act? And I stepped into that. And that's why this group is so incredible, because you have mentors and people to follow who have been there and done that. And we miss that so often because we're trying to do our own path. And it's awesome to make our own path. But when you're in an industry and you're around winners, there's so much you can get from them. So we start to get into this. And now we realize as I'm running, I'm realizing that there's so many benefits from this because I am by myself. Yeah, the person's not there. There's no one with me. I am on this journey alone, as we all are. And we might feel isolated at times, but that's what it's all about. It's about going through the journey. You will always need a community, and the community will meet you on the other side after you zoom out. But when you are zoomed in on your work, there is no one to meet you. You are on that journey by yourself, and you are going to take it as far as you can take it. And the point of this talk is for you to realize that it is possible. You can do this. If others have done it, you can do it. And that's what it's all about. So as I'm running this marathon, I'm realizing to myself that I've set a goal, I've stuck to it. And why did it work? Because I was accountable to myself. I was accountable to the people that I said I was going to do this to. And that accountability, you need a weekly accountability or a monthly accountability to hold you to your goals. That's why I love that David does this call once a week. It holds people to the fire. If you come here and you're like, I haven't changed, you need to change. You need to do the difference. And it's not always saying, hey, let me change everything, but it's let me do more of what I'm doing if it's working. Like we need to realize that. And the last part is moving to pillar 3, which is really basically creating this accountability and being able to stick to these goals. But for you guys, it's realizing that you're in a service mindset. There's so many insurance people that just want to sell, 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 sell. But you are serving for a positive. And what you're giving is people buy the certainty, they don't buy the coverage. They want the support to know that they're going to be protected, and they need that. And your energy and empathy is going to help them, more people accept that they need these policies and they need these things. And with building trust, you build trust, one, by doing what you say you're going to do, by following through, by being there, by being obsessed with service. And if a customer reaches out saying, hey, I just went to the doctor, how do I handle this? Don't view it as, oh, another problem. Be an opportunity to help, because that's how I viewed it. I'm rowing on this marathon. I'm getting cramps because, like I said, the water stations were very minimal. And I was not the most, I had my camelback, but I was just dying. It was hard. It was really challenging. And you're going up these hills and down these hills, up these hills, 6,000 feet elevation. Florida boy ain't doing well. I'm trying my best, but it is hard. It is challenging. And the thing was, it was worth it. It was worth it because I promised myself I wouldn't walk on that one. Now, I got down to a slow jog, but I never walked because for me, it was more important to stick to the plan and go slow than do it perfect. So I want you guys to recognize you don't have to do anything perfect. You have to take positive action each day. And that means majority of the time we're going to mess up. That's cool because that's how we learn. So me doing this, I didn't even know what gels were, which is basically like an insurance person not knowing what leads are until I started. I'm literally eating these gels like 3 days before because I'm like, what am I doing? And I'm reading online and they're like, gels, gels, because I didn't have the proper mentorship, but I pushed through and made it. With David, he gives you the gels, he makes it possible. And with this group, you have so much cohesive nature where you guys can support each other. And that's why I want to add in a couple additional things. I want you to realize that the top agents, they are obsessed with service and they also master their skills. So what I mean by that was I ran one marathon. You guys are closing deals daily, weekly, monthly. As you get better and better, you start to understand people's pain points. And as you level up, you start getting more informed and being able to help on a deeper, deeper level. So for us, you have to be able to master those soft skills of understanding people, connecting with them, and understanding their true pain points, which is something that is not easy, but it does get better with more conversations. The more we help, the more we can accomplish. And then the other big thing is that they invest in personal growth. They're in groups like this. I want to give you guys a round of applause. It is 6 p.m. where I am. Most people are like clocked out Thursday, going to the bar. You guys are here. You guys are getting after it. And I want to give you major props for that because most people don't do that. Most people don't know what that's like. Most people, they're like, "Are you getting paid? Are you getting paid to be on this call? I'm not doing that." No, you guys, personal growth is a key to success. And you have to realize that it's going to multiply you. If you take one thing from this, it's that realizing you can do this. You can accomplish it. And then the last point is that coaching, it's not a cost. It's a multiplier. When you dive in and you trust in your actions, it's you investing in yourself. So I want to leave you guys with 5 additional points about additional value because like we talked about the 3 pillars, which is developing a strong vision, which we can totally dive into that, which is where do you want to be in 3 years? What do you want that lifestyle to feel like? You want that clarity and power. How much do you want your business to earn? Then we talked about creating habits to get there. What are the habits you need to do and implement to accomplish the goals you are setting in your strong vision? And then the last part is how are you going to hold yourself accountable? I held myself accountable by having a monthly meeting with myself. I would check if I did the calls, I would check if I did the stuff. And then the other big thing is with the small wins, you want to have a community. Inside of that community, you want to share with them, just got a policy, just did this deal, just got a client who's interested, just got my first referral, just got an introduction, just had a conversation, just called one lead. You have to start stacking these little wins to create the momentum that you're really trying to do. And so the additional part I want to give you guys is that I want you to realize this. Every no you get is closer to a yes. The journey is the destination. We might feel like, "Oh, we have to accomplish this. I need to do this. My life's here." No, your life is today and you're moving towards those goals. If you don't take action today, you're not, today's gone. We have to realize that the journey is the destination. The other big thing to realize is that we're all on our own growth journey and realizing that mentorship and accountability is the way to expedite your experience. It is the way to get you to the next level, to get you where you need to be. And then joining communities like these or mine, it gets you around the right people. It gets you in the right headspace and it helps you accomplish the goals you're trying to do. Because to your family, you might be crazy. To your high school friends, you might be bizarre. To everyone else, they might not understand. But to you, you get it, and the community gets it as well. And if you're in the right community, you can create anything you believe to be possible. And also, remember, this is super important. We've noted that the biggest fears are fear of failure and fear of rejection. Fear of failure is not trying, and it's realizing the way to overcome that one is realize you never had the client to start with. If you lose a client, you never had them. That's not a failure. That's I'm just learning. So we trade in failure for learning. And then the other one is fear of rejection, which you have to realize that people are not rejecting you, they're rejecting the offer. So adjust the offer and you might be able to adjust the answer. It'll make all the difference.
Awesome, awesome, man. If you love Jordan, man, put Jordan in the chat, man. Jordan tore it up. I saw a lot of great comments here. Marion said, "Love it. 10,000 hours to achieve mastery. Thank you for your words. This time to invest in myself was gold." Someone else talking about 10,000 hours over them again. Let's see if I got more comments on my phone here. We're getting paid in wisdom, priceless. Um, Discipline. Root word is discipline. One who is always learning, never give up. The belief is in their protection. I love that you said that. We said, we were talking about serving. What if I told you you could? I don't know why they put that comment. The comment makes no sense. Sleep is everything, people. It's funny. So I preach like sleep is the most important thing. I've been walking earlier and going to bed earlier. Been going to be earlier for a couple of months. Definitely working better for me. Let's see here.
Absolutely. And you start to realize, like, hey, there's only a few ways to build life, right? You can live your life in a million different ways. Thank you guys for all the support. I'm reading some of these comments. Mark, Donta, Sherry, Brittany. I really appreciate it. And you guys start to realize that there's so many ways to live life, right? And you guys have chosen this one. And you guys have to embrace this and overcome this, because the biggest challenge we have is not stepping into our authentic selves. And what David's providing a space where we can all be authentic. And that's how David became authentic. And that's what I love about it. So I think it's absolutely awesome. And this is incredible.
Awesome, awesome guys.
Oh,
Any questions for Jordan? You have time for a couple of questions, Jordan?
yeah, of course.
Anyone have any questions for Jordan? Questions. That's it. You guys are salespeople. You should be all kinds of questions. You guys should have all kinds of questions. What did it say? The or timid salespeople have skinny children, right? Don't don't have skinny children. So, anyone have any questions for Jordan?
Should we drop the Calendly in the link?
Yeah, we'll throw the calendar in here. Let me let's see here. So I talked to Jordan. He agreed to do a 30-minute coaching consulting call. So I'm going to throw this in the chat
Yeah, and
here.
you guys can schedule it. It schedules out like a week and a half. So hopefully we can all hop on a call, and love to learn more about you guys and your business. Yeah, Tim, let's get more mentees. Book the coaching call, book the complimentary coaching call, and we could definitely talk.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Let's see. What was clients' biggest fears before selling them a policy?
Not a client.
Jordan doesn't sell insurance.
What's the biggest hurdle you've encountered so far in your business, and have you overcome it? The biggest hurdle I've experienced, it's really myself, and I'm always working on it. And what I mean by myself is we have to realize that we only have so many hours. So it's how do we make the best use of our time? And we've never been in a place where we have more distraction. So the biggest challenge I face and biggest hurdle I face really is focus. So it's how do I focus on the biggest opportunity in front of me? And that is something that I am working on every single day to overcome. Because the truth is, back in the day, if you really think about it, like in the 1900s, most people they would be farmers, right? And then there was the Industrial Revolution, which opened up other jobs. But now we're at a point where like we can get food, shelter, clothing like a lot of different ways. So a lot of people are making money in different ways. There's these things like side hustles and all these different things. So there's constantly stuff pulling on our attention, and it's how do we focus? So the biggest challenge I face currently is focus. And that's why but doing stuff like this always revitalizes me and makes me realize what the most important thing is, which I truly do love the coaching and the serving.
The focus is such a big one. I think someone called me a hedgehog at some point, where like I just get focused. I just do one thing really really well, and yeah, you're right, because it's you start seeing other things, or people, especially with social media, right? People will make like, oh look at dude, I made $1 million day trading in my sleep last night. You're right, and I woke up and I had a big bag of money underneath my bed because of forex, or they just come up with these crazy things, and then people start like looking at that, like, wow, I actually have to call people to make money. This person sleeps and just day trades money. I need to do that. And we get so sidetracked. And instead of, it's like, it's so funny because I was talking to a marketer today that works in the insurance industry. And he's like, dude, it's so crazy because there's like big piles of money all around your agents. And it's like they're like walking past that sometimes, and they're just like looking for something different. When it's like, dude, it's like right in front of you. There's opportunities here. I say selling insurance is the best opportunity right now because it's literally no overhead. It's recession proof, like COVID proof. It's pandemic proof. It's everything proof. And I proved it myself, right? I proved it myself, and it's like I give people the blueprint. But every single day, I hire an agent that's super excited to work with me, and then that agent goes to the next exciting thing, and then you find out they're at eight exciting things before that, and you follow them, and like, oh, look, now they're a fitness coach. Oh, now they sell network marketing stuff.
Well,
Oh, now they're a real estate agent.
the main reason I wanted to come on here is because I was very impressed when David came on the podcast and his ability to focus and be in the space of he's creating an incredible opportunity for people. Like if we're going to be honest guys, to sit there and realize like hey, because I know a lot of people who do this insurance stuff and most of them don't get the offers and the opportunities that David's providing to people where it's remote, people can learn, people can build, people can be there supported. It makes a huge difference. I saw one of the questions is how did you get so good at talking? Is it just reps because of your podcast? I would say probably. Honestly, I've done over 200 episodes, and if you and with the intro calls, of which I do a majority of them, you start to realize the other big thing I have is I have a few stories that I relate to. So you can use stories to help you speak better. However, it really comes down to the reps. So if you want to become a better speaker, even if you just recorded your own podcast, and it's not even something you have to share, but it's something you would record once a week. Hey, I learned this, this, and this. People feel uncomfortable, but it's an incredible skill to have. And it's something that a lot of us are missing. And you just have to step into it. And then the other one I saw from Mark was how important is mindset and what do you do to maintain the right one? Mark, awesome question. What I do is I actually have a Monday night group and I have a Thursday morning group, and what I do with those groups is I run the groups, but they force me to have at least two daily doses of, hey, I'm pouring into people. Hey, I'm giving to people. I mean, I have other coaching clients as well, but I use those two groups as because originally it was just a Monday night group. And then I'm like, by the end of the week, I feel myself lagging. I'm dropping off. I'm like, get me with Thursday. So I started doing that about a year ago. And those two groups have been great for my mindset because it really helps me um, get it going. Tim, David, you got a big shout out.
He's on the payroll, so he's very kind. So thank you, Tim.
uh, yes, no, but I mean, guys, in all honesty, it's realizing that you can do whatever you choose. You just have to be able to focus and give the attention to it. And I think that's the most awesome thing here that it is a very focused time for you to zoom out and train.
Yeah, and if you want to be better speakers, another really good one, because I talk about social media and branding yourself and everything, and do a schedule yourself a weekly live, right? Go over what your week was like as an insurance agent. You'll find clients from it, and you'll find people that want to work with you from it. And you share that story with them. People love reality TV, right? People love social media, so give them a window to your life, and you'll be surprised. I mean, that's how I built the foundation of my business, just sharing what I was doing.
Especially if you're yeah, I mean, and the other big thing is like a lot no one cares. Like if someone's gonna judge you, they're not the right people, you know what I mean? I've gotten so far past that. Like I post on Instagram a lot, I'm on YouTube, and I just like people don't even realize. Here, let me grab your my Instagram, and people just don't even realize how many like I it doesn't matter. Like I've gotten to the point now where I just don't care. Because the more you do it and the more you push yourself and the more you step into these authentic versions of who you want to be and what you want to accomplish, you start to realize that these people might not serve your mission. And that's cool. That's okay. That doesn't mean they're bad people. That just means you are on a different mission. And that's okay. So don't take people hating on you as a bad thing or a good thing. Just realize that you're doing what's best for you.
Absolutely, I love it. I love it.
And I just dropped the Instagram in there if anyone wants to check me out there as well. But
Awesome.
David's podcast is going to come out soon, so we'll be seeing
I
that.
appreciate it, man.
Appreciate you, Tim and Rome, for booking the calls. Looking forward to them.
There you go. So if you want to get a free 30-minute coaching call with Jordan, go through that link on Calendly, click a link. Everyone, thank Jordan for coming on here. Wish we do the round of applause thing that we would on like a Zoom meeting or something like that. But appreciate everyone. Thanks again, Jordan, for jumping on. And yeah, man, look forward to talking to you some more and uh, yeah, man, connecting on some other stuff. So
Absolutely. David, I appreciate you, man. Brittany, Sherry, thank you guys. Appreciate you for creating the space. This is awesome.
awesome, I appreciate you. All right, guys. Thanks again. We are insurance agents, man. Share this, comment, like it, tell your friends. Let's get some more people in this group, man. Appreciate you. We'll keep on getting some more amazing guests like Jordan.